guys, Mixed Media Girl here. So I'm going to be making a cool sign for my studio. So what I have here is just some MDF that I cut and routed to the size I want. And then I have a vinyl sticker of my logo. So what we're going to do is I'm going to paint this black, and then we're going to put some fun paint splatters on there. And then we're going to attach the vinyl, and then we'll do a clear resin coat over that once that's all dry. So we're gonna get started. I'm using Behr Broadway Black paint and primer. There we go. So cute. Okay, good. We're gonna go ahead and let this dry, and then we'll be back. All right, guys, so we're gonna get into our paint splatter. And so these are acrylic paints mixed with Floetrol and a lot of water. So they're pretty watered down to make them easy to splatter all over the place. And Bronson from the Knotty Artisan and I are just going to have some fun with this. So here we go. Alright guys, so I'm back in my studio. This is obviously totally dry, and Bronson actually coated it with some polycrylic. So what I'm going to do now is just lightly sand this just to get rid of some brush strokes. And then we'll go ahead and we'll put the decal down and then apply the epoxy. The reason we did the polyacrylic is so that the decal would actually stick to it and lay flat for our epoxy. You can also put a layer of epoxy down, let it dry, then put the decal on, and then another layer of epoxy. So a couple different ways to do it, but here we go. We're gonna sand this. All right, that should be good. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this cleaned off. And then we're going to put the decal down. And it is going to go like this. But just for my own sake, I'm gonna flip this around so it's easier for me to see. Okay. Now I don't know if you guys noticed, but the background colors kind of correspond with the colors on here. So we did like blues down to some reds and yellows and stuff down here. All right, this is the important moment. This has to go on correctly in the right spot, not too low, not too high. Okay. It's important to make sure it lies totally flat. All the edges are down. That looks pretty killer. Okay, next step is to get our epoxy mixed up and go ahead and seal this thing. All right, so I've got the epoxy all mixed up. I'm using the Stone Coat Countertops Art Coat, and I put just a tiny bit of the Diamond Dust Metallic in there. That's just to give it a little bit of extra depth, and I do mean like a tiny, tiny bit. And here we go. Have full coverage. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to torch this real quick, taking care to not torch the vinyl too much because we don't want it to curl up or anything. Good news is it's also very hot in here, so that should help dissipate air bubbles as well. And that is it. We are all done. So we're going to come back tomorrow and see how this looks. All right, guys, we're back. It's all dry. It looks awesome. Sorry about the light reflection in there. I don't know if you can tell, but I was very slightly off center. So it is a little more to the right than to the left, which really sucks. But anyways, so I might cut off like just a tiny bit over here. But otherwise, it looks awesome. How we did it worked really well. With the vinyl sticking quite well to that. The resin really made those drips pop. And yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little bit of that diamond dust. Gives it a bit more depth. It looks so much cooler in person than on the video. But yeah, there we go. My brand new sign. I gotta figure out where to hang it, but I am in love with it. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time.